Hello, my friends. Let me ask you something. Where are you right now in your life? Are you waking up every day feeling inspired? Or are you dragging yourself through the same cycle, feeling like life is happening to you instead of for you? No more blaming. No more pointing fingers at the past, your circumstances, or anyone else. The moment you decide to take full responsibility for everything in your life, you take back control. Most people live in a mindset of blame. They blame their upbringing, their lack of opportunities, the economy, their boss, their spouse, or even bad luck. But here's the truth. As long as you're blaming something outside of yourself, you're giving away your power. You're making yourself a victim of circumstances rather than the creator of your future. The most successful people in the world, the ones who've built extraordinary lives, all have one thing in common. They refuse to make excuses. They refuse to let external factors dictate their destiny. They step up and say, if it's going to change, it's up to me. That's the difference. That's the mindset that transforms everything. Most people wait for something external to change before they take action. They think, I'll start when I have more time, or I'll be happier when I get that promotion, or I'll finally get in shape when life settles down. They put their happiness, success, and future in the hands of something they can't control. That's a losing strategy. When you take radical responsibility, you stop waiting, you stop hoping, you start creating. You realize that you don't need perfect conditions to begin. You need to make a decision to move forward no matter what. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself or feeling guilty about the past. It doesn't mean carrying unnecessary burdens or beating yourself up for mistakes. It means recognizing that regardless of what has happened before, you have the power to change things moving forward. You have control over how you respond to every situation, and your response is what shapes your reality. The shift happens when you stop looking for reasons why things aren't working and start focusing on how you can make them work. You stop saying, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this? You stop saying, I can't, and start saying, how can I? When you make that shift, you go from powerless to powerful. You become a person who finds a way no matter what. That's when opportunities start opening up. That's when you start to create momentum. People who take responsibility don't just react to life, they design it. They take ownership of their health, their finances, their relationships, their growth. They don't expect someone else to come save them. They understand that no one is coming. And that's a good thing, because it means they get to decide how their story unfolds. This mindset applies to every area of life. If your finances are a mess, own it. Stop blaming the economy, stop blaming your boss, stop blaming your past decisions. Own where you are and start taking the steps to change it. If your health isn't where you want it to be, take responsibility for your daily choices. If your relationships aren't fulfilling, look in the mirror and ask yourself how you can show up differently. It's not about guilt or regret, it's about empowerment. Every moment you spend blaming something outside of yourself is a moment wasted. Every second spent making excuses is a second you could be using to change your reality. The truth is, it's not always easy to take responsibility. It requires humility. It requires the ability to admit where you've been falling short. But once you do, you unlock something powerful, the ability to take control of your own destiny. Your life right now is a reflection of what you've been willing to tolerate. Everything you have or don't have is a direct result of the standards you've set for yourself. The way you treat your body, the quality of your relationships, your financial situation, your level of happiness, it all comes down to what you've decided is acceptable. Most people set their standards based on what's comfortable, what's familiar, or what society tells them is possible. They settle for a mediocre job because it's secure. They stay in unfulfilling relationships because they don't want to be alone. They let their health decline because they tell themselves they're too busy. They accept a reality that is far beneath their potential, not because they aren't capable of more, but because they haven't demanded more from themselves. The moment you decide that what you've been settling for is no longer acceptable is the moment everything changes. People don't get what they want in life, they get what they expect. Someone who expects to be financially successful will find a way to create wealth even if they start with nothing. Someone who expects to have an incredible relationship will put in the effort to make it happen. Someone who expects to be strong and healthy will prioritize their fitness and nutrition no matter what. Their actions will always align with their standards. On the other hand, someone who expects to struggle financially will make choices that keep them stuck. Someone who expects to have bad relationships will find ways to sabotage them. Someone who expects to be out of shape will act accordingly. The key is recognizing that your standards dictate your results, not the other way around. If you don't like what you see in your life, the first thing to change is what you demand from yourself. Raising your standards doesn't mean making a wish list of things you'd like to have. It means making an unshakable decision about what you will no longer accept. It means drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is who I am now, this is what I expect from myself, this is what I will not tolerate. That level of commitment forces you to show up differently. It pushes you to take action at a higher level. It eliminates excuses. You stop negotiating with yourself, you stop allowing circumstances to dictate your behavior. You create a new identity, and that identity shapes everything you do. When you truly raise your standards, you don't need willpower to follow through. You don't need motivation. Your actions become automatic because you've conditioned yourself to operate at a higher level. It's no longer about forcing yourself to do what's necessary. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally does it. Think about the most successful, fulfilled, and driven people in the world. They don't achieve extraordinary results because they're lucky. They don't get there because they're smarter or more talented. They get there because they demand more from themselves than the average person. They set the bar higher. They refuse to accept less than their full potential. They don't wait for permission. They don't hope for change. They decide, and then they commit at a level most people never do. That's why they succeed. If you want to change any area of your life, start by asking yourself, what have I been tolerating? What have you allowed that you know isn't serving you? What excuses have you accepted? Where have you settled for less than you're capable of? The answers to those questions will reveal exactly where you need to raise your standards. And once you do, once you make that non-negotiable decision, your entire life will begin to shift. What you focus on, you feel. Your emotions, your decisions, and ultimately your life are all dictated by what you choose to give your attention to. Most people don't realize that their focus is being controlled by default. They wake up and immediately start thinking about their problems. They check the news, scroll through social media, listen to negativity, and feed their minds with things that drain them. And then they wonder why they feel overwhelmed, stressed, or stuck. The reality is that whatever you consistently focus on will shape your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. If you focus on what's wrong, you will feel powerless. If you focus on what's possible, you will feel empowered. Your mind is like a muscle that gets stronger in whatever direction you train it. If you've spent years focusing on what's missing in your life, your brain is wired to notice more lack. If you've conditioned yourself to focus on fear, doubt, and uncertainty, you will find reasons to feel afraid. But the good news is, you can train your focus the same way you train your body. You can consciously direct it toward things that serve you instead of things that hold you back. It starts with awareness. You have to become aware of what you are giving your attention to on a daily basis. Are you constantly replaying past failures? Are you obsessing over what could go wrong? Are you focusing on things you can't control? Or are you deliberately shifting your focus to what you can do, what's within your power, and what's possible? The quality of your life is determined by the questions you ask yourself. Most people ask disempowering questions like, why does this always happen to me? Or, what if I fail? These kinds of questions train your brain to look for evidence that reinforces negative beliefs. But the most successful people ask different questions. They ask, how can I make the... What can I learn from this? What's great about this situation that I haven't seen yet? When you change the questions you ask, you change what your brain focuses on. Instead of looking for problems, it starts looking for solutions. Instead of focusing on limitations, it starts finding opportunities. Your focus also determines your emotional state. If you focus on gratitude, you will feel abundant. If you focus on progress, you will feel motivated. If you focus on your strengths, you will feel confident. The fastest way to shift your is to shift what you are focusing on. One of the most powerful ways to do this is to train yourself to focus on what you can control. There will always be external circumstances that you can't change: the economy, other people's opinions, unexpected challenges. But what you can control is your attitude, your effort, your mindset, and the meaning you give to situations. When you focus on what's in your control, you take back your power. You stop wasting energy on things that drain you, and you start taking action on the things that move you forward. Another key to mastering your focus is to be intentional about what you feed your mind. The information you consume daily is shaping your thoughts and beliefs, whether you realize it or not. If you surround yourself with negativity, gossip, and complaints, your focus will be dragged in that direction. But if you immerse yourself in growth, inspiration, and powerful ideas, your focus will naturally elevate. The people you spend time with, the books you read, the content you consume, all of it influences what you focus on. That's why successful people are deliberate about their environment. They protect their focus like it's their most valuable asset, because they know that it determines the results they create. Success is not something you achieve overnight. It is built through consistent daily habits that prime your mind and body for peak performance. Most people wait for motivation to strike before they take action, but that's a losing game. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes. The real key to long-term success is conditioning yourself every single day so that taking action becomes automatic. When you make it a habit to train both your mind and body, you create unstoppable momentum that carries you forward even when you don't feel like it. Your body is directly connected to your state of mind. If your body is sluggish, tired, and weak, your mind will follow. That's why high achievers make physical movement a non-negotiable part of their routine. They don't just work out to look good, they do it because they know that movement generates energy. When you push your body, you activate your physiology, and that changes your mental state. Exercise increases focus, improves discipline, and elevates your mood. It's not about spending hours in the gym, it's about making movement a daily ritual. Even 10 minutes of intense exercise can shift your entire mindset and set the tone for the day. Just as your body needs conditioning, so does your mind. Most people wake up and immediately expose themselves to negativity. They check their phones, read the news, and let external factors dictate their emotions. But successful people take control of their mental state first. They start their day with intention, whether it's through meditation, visualization, affirmations, or gratitude. These practices aren't just cliches, they are powerful tools to rewire your brain. When you begin your day with positive conditioning, you train your mind to focus on what's possible instead of what's wrong. Visualization is one of the most powerful mental conditioning tools available. Your brain cannot tell the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. That means when you visualize your goals as if they have already been achieved, your mind starts finding ways to make them happen. Athletes use this technique before games. High performers use it before major events. If you see yourself succeeding repeatedly in your mind, your actions will align with that vision. Another key part of mental conditioning is controlling the language you use with yourself. Your words create your reality. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm tired, I'm not good enough," or "this is too hard," you are programming your brain to believe those statements. But if you deliberately shift your language to statements like, "I am capable," "I have unstoppable energy," and "I always find a way," you will feel the difference immediately. Words shape emotions, and emotions drive behavior. By consistently using empowering language, you are conditioning yourself for success. Surrounding yourself with the right input is just as important as what you say to yourself. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, fear, and doubt, those thoughts will take root. But if you feed your mind with positive influences, books, podcasts, mentors, and conversations that inspire growth, you will naturally start thinking at a higher level. Successful people are intentional about what they allow into their minds because they know it shapes their perspective and decisions. The key to conditioning your mind and body is consistency. It's not about doing it once or twice, it's about making it a daily habit. The people who succeed at the highest level don't just rely on willpower. They create rituals that make success automatic. They know that the way they start their day determines how they perform, and they take that seriously. They don't leave their mindset and energy to chance. They train them every single day. The people you surround yourself with will either push you forward or hold you back. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is shaping your thoughts, your beliefs, and your habits every single day. Most people never take control of this. They stay around the same influences even when those influences are keeping them stuck. They listen to people who complain, make excuses, and settle for less. They absorb the doubts and limitations of those around them. And over time, without even realizing it, they start to think the same way. The standard you hold yourself to is largely determined by the standards of the people in your life. If you want to elevate your life, you must elevate your environment. That means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, who inspire you, who push you to be better. It means being around individuals who are playing the game at a higher level, so their mindset, habits, and energy become the new normal for you. When you spend time with people who are driven, disciplined, and committed to growth, that mindset becomes contagious. You start to think bigger. You start to believe in new possibilities. You start to expect more from yourself because you see what's possible. One of the fastest ways to transform any area of your life is to change who you spend the most time with. If you want to get in the best shape of your life, spend time with people who take their health seriously. If you want to build wealth, surround yourself with people who understand money, who make smart financial decisions, who create opportunities instead of complaining about what they don't have. If you want to develop a stronger mindset, be around people who don't make excuses, who hold themselves to a higher standard, who don't let fear stop them from taking action. Your relationships should elevate you. They should challenge you to grow, not keep you comfortable. The right people will call you out when you're making excuses. They won't let you settle for less than your potential. They won't tolerate your limitations because they see what you're capable of. That's the kind of environment that forces you to rise. It's not about cutting everyone out of your life, but it is about being intentional. You can love people from a distance while choosing to spend your time with those who align with where you're going. You can still support friends and family without letting their limiting beliefs dictate your future. The key is to seek out the people who are already where you want to be. Find mentors, join communities, engage in conversations with those who challenge your thinking. In today's world, you don't even need to know someone personally to be influenced by them. You can read their books, listen to their podcasts, watch their interviews. You can immerse yourself in the mindset of high achievers without ever meeting them in person. The more you absorb their way of thinking, the more your own mindset shifts. The people you surround yourself with will either fuel your vision or drain it. They will either inspire you to take action or give you reasons to stay the same. If you look at the most successful people in any field, they didn't get there alone. They aligned themselves with the right influences. They sought out mentors. They put themselves in rooms where they were the least experienced person so they could learn, grow, and adapt. That's how you accelerate your progress. That's how you make success inevitable. It's not just about hard work, it's about being in the right environment, because the right environment makes the work easier, more natural, and more sustainable. Most people wait for the perfect moment before they take action. They tell themselves they need more information, more preparation, more confidence. They convince themselves that once they have everything figured out, then they'll start. But that moment never comes. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. The people who achieve extraordinary results aren't the ones who have all the answers before they begin. They're the ones who start before they're ready. They take massive, imperfect action. They move forward even when they don't have all the details figured out. They trust that progress is more important than perfection. Most people are paralyzed by fear, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of making mistakes. They think if they don't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. But that mindset keeps them stuck. It keeps them from ever taking the first step. The only way to build confidence, to gain clarity, to figure things out is to take action. Action creates momentum. Action leads to learning. Action allows you to adjust, refine, and improve along the way. If you're constantly waiting for the perfect plan, you'll never get anywhere. The most successful people understand that success is a process of iteration. They try, they fail, they learn, and they adjust. But they keep moving. Taking action doesn't mean being reckless. It means committing to progress over perfection. It means being willing to step into the unknown, knowing that you will figure things out as you go. Every great entrepreneur, athlete, artist, and leader started without knowing everything. They didn't have all the answers, but they took action anyway. They understood that clarity comes from doing, not from overthinking. The biggest breakthroughs happen when you take the leap, not when you sit back and analyze every possible outcome. Failure is part of the process. Most people avoid action because they are afraid to fail. But failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a necessary step toward it. Every mistake, every setback, every wrong turn teaches you something valuable. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. The faster you learn, the faster you succeed. The only real failure is doing nothing at all. The person who never takes action will always be stuck exactly where they are. But the person who takes massive, imperfect action will always be moving forward. Action also builds confidence. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about doing something, it comes from actually doing it. The more you take action, the more experience you gain. The more experience you gain, the more capable you feel. Confidence is a byproduct of taking consistent steps, no matter how small, in the direction of your goals. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You build a track record of follow-through. You show yourself that you can handle challenges, adapt, and keep going. That's how confidence is built, not by waiting, but by doing. The people who achieve the most aren't the ones who are the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who are willing to take action even when things aren't perfect. They don't let fear stop them. They don't get stuck in overthinking. They don't wait for permission. They decide, they commit, and they move forward. The greatest opportunities, the biggest breakthroughs, the most life-changing experiences come to those who are willing to take the leap. They don't let the fear of imperfection hold them back. They understand that success is messy, it's full of failures, adjustments, and course corrections. But none of that matters because they know the only way to truly fail is to do nothing at all. To transform your life, it's not about waiting for the right conditions or hoping for some magical breakthrough. It's about taking radical responsibility for your actions, raising your standards, controlling your focus, and conditioning your mind and body daily. Surround yourself with the right people who elevate your thinking and drive you to be better. And above all, take massive, imperfect action. The people who succeed aren't the ones who wait for everything to be perfect. They're the ones who decide to take the first step, learn along the way, and keep moving forward. Success isn't reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone who is willing to take full control of their journey and make daily decisions that align with the life they want to create. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the right moment. And don't wait until you're ready to take action now and make your future happen.